Okay, we're gonna do another pointless little story time. And as everybody can tell, I'd like to keep the art stuff hidden, which may or may not have a diploma with my real name on it in my office. And I also tend to use the fact that I have a working door in my office, like a real office, to take my shirt off as soon as possible. And of course, my tie, so just rocking an undershirt. Um, if somebody knocks on the door, I like half put a shirt on. I'm classy like that. I'm actually kind of funny because I think better. I'm more relaxed, and I try to buy quality stuff. I'm kind of snobby about my dress clothes, but like I feel more chilled out. But there's a good minute long intro that nobody cares about my dressing behaviors in the office. I don't like ties. I'm only in my mid 30s, early 30s, whatever you want to call it, and I still can barely tie one. I know like the rules of the social thing. I know how to do it. It's just my hands don't seem to agree, and I'm pretty dexterous, so it's kind of just a thing. So the story time we're going to talk about. First of all, this is also a tactic to make sure you never get bothered. It was about 25, 26 years old at the time. I got cold call for life insurance. I have no idea how on earth this happened. I didn't know that that's a thing, and a lot of people have told me they've never had that happen to them, and they were established at life. I obviously was still putting things together, and I was not exactly in this target market for life insurance, being that at the time and today still debt free. Haha. How's that feel? Just sell it to you. Uh, but So I got a cold call, and I decided I was just going to screw with this guy because I had some free time. And I spent pretty much 20 minutes just running through this whole thing, just acting foolish. And I mean, I should say naive more than foolish. So we went through the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. And talked him up. We're going to do a $2 million policy for a 25-year-old because that's ethical. It makes sense. It's good, especially when I have no money owed to anybody. And I had cash on hand. So, you're a perfect person to really buy a lot of life insurance. I will say you can kind of hedge it as a tax thing if you're making like over literally a million a year, but that's a whole different story. I'm not, so, and I sure wasn't back then either. Granted, my diet of ramen noodles was a little more necessary, more than a comfort food at the time, we'll say. So I ran through the whole thing, wasted a good 20 minutes going through it, just asking every question, kind of being agreeable but apprehensive about it, and finally went through the whole thing, said do it, and said, oh, well, who are we going to do it to? Well, I don't have any family. Oh, well, okay. So you put it to a organization. I was like, well, the closest I have to family is my cat, and someone was going to, take one of my friends will take care of it. So let's write it to my cat. And he's like, well, that's actually pretty common. And actually, that is a very common thing in wills and life insurance, especially wills, is people leaving money to an animal for its care. So he didn't really see where I was going with this. And then the next thing I'm like, yeah, oh my God, dude, it's really bad. And he's like, oh, your cat's having some health issues? I was like, more so legal. He kind of stole a plane from a Colombian cartel, drove it down I-95, got a DUI. And the guy's just like, what are you doing? And just kept making this story more and more ridiculous. And everybody knows that Loki is pretty gangster. And this wasn't a story. This was actually a news event. You can look it up. Cat stole airplane full of cocaine, drove it down I-95. A couple cops were injured. It was not a good thing. Type that into Google, and I promise you that you'll actually find a result, and people in white coats won't show up at your house and drag you away. So at this point, I just kind of blew my cover. The guy was all, you wasted all my time. And I was like, exactly, I wasted your time. How many people could you have called otherwise? And he hung up on me. So if you ever have like 5-10 minutes to kill, it's a great way to get off lists. The other thing, I'll just give another useful piece since I'm telling a boring story. It's one of those, I guess you had to be there, you have to know me, or whatever. I find it amusing. But an actual good way to get off those mailers, you'll find great credit card offers. Well, I think that's a wonderful deal, and I want to thank them for offering me a credit card. And I found another great deal. So I think it's only fair that we pass on the good luck. So what I like to do is on this prepaid envelopes, I'd like to say, guys, you can get a really good deal at Domino's Pizza. They sent me some coupons. I'm not really a big fan of Domino's Pizza, so I will send them to you. Stuff doesn't show up anymore because you've wasted 35 cents on some intern's 2 minutes as he opens up and finds there's no application. There's just coupons for shitty pizza. I don't. I think people say, "Oh, you're wasting your time." Well, it's when I throw it out. Otherwise, if I have time to kill, I do it. And getting yourself off all those lists and everything after you do the opt outs, you're saving trees. So I'm saving the earth. What are you doing? Yeah, feel guilty now. Trolling environmentalism. Chaotic neutral max.